So today we're going to do lesson 42, which is on repeating decimals. So there's a whole lot written on the board, but don't freak out. Like, these are just examples, and we're going to walk through it. So right now you just write lesson 42, repeating decimals. All right. So the repeating digits of a decimal are called the repetend. So whenever you see a number, for example, and there's a whole lot of numbers and they kind of are all the same, like we have a whole bunch of 3s, this is known as the repetend because they're all the same number and they just keep going. So then what do we do with these numbers instead of continuing to write out 3 because it's just going to keep going for forever with 3s? So we would look and see that 3 is the repeating number. So then this number would become 0.083 repeating. And we would say it's repeating by putting a little line over it. That's how we know it's repeating. So if somebody were to look at it, they would know that this number is 0.0833333, and it just keeps going. All right, so then what do we do if we have a number that looks like this? We would have to look at it and figure out if it's a repeating pattern or if they're just random numbers. So if we look, we see 5.142857. So none of those have repeated themselves. 14285 we just said 14285 back here, so we know this 142857 is the same as this 142857, and then if we look close, there's a 1 4 again, so it's probably going to be 2857, we can safely assume. So this whole number would become 5.142857 with a repeating line over all of it so that people know that the number is that keeps repeating is 142857. And it's just start back over at 142857 and keep going in that pattern. All right. And then our last one is 454.5454545. And we can probably safely assume looking at that it's going to be a 4 because we have 545454. So then this number will be 454.54 repeating. So again, the entire number or pattern of numbers that are repeating gets the repeating symbol over it. If you just wrote it 454.54 and only the 4 had a repeating, then I would assume that 4 then is the one that's repeating. 5 doesn't repeat, 4 repeats. Just like the example up here, because the line isn't over the 0 or the 8, then I know the 0 and 8 doesn't repeat as part of a pattern of 0, 8, 3. The 3 is all that repeats because that's all that has the line over it. So you need to make sure when you are writing it that you only put the line over all of the numbers that are continuing repeating in the pattern. All right, so then rounding, how do we round them? So we have our number is 5.316. And 6 has the repeating sign over it. So I know that this number is actually 5.316666, and it's going to keep going with the 6s. So, and then they tell me where to round the number to. So let's just round it to 6. We're going to round it to this place here. So I have 3 6s. The third 6, we're going to round it there. So then I look the same. I see this is a 6, which is greater than 5, so I can round that to 7. So it would be 5.31667, because that's where they told me to round it to. And if they told me to round it over here to the 1, then I would look and see that's 6, and it would be 5.32. But rounding, we just round it to wherever they told us to. All right, so then my second number is 25.405, and all of the 405 has the line over it. So I know that this number is actually 25.405, 405, 405, and it keeps going. And we are going to round this one to this position. So we have 40540 is what we're going to round it to. Looking at the number next to it's a 5, which is 5 or greater, so it's going to round it up. So this number is 25.40541. Kind of ran out of a little room. So it's 40541. And we just rounded it to the place that it told us to. All right. So then the next thing we're going to do is divide and round. So we're going to divide it out, and our number is 1.5 divided by 11. So if we divided that out, we would get 0.13636 repeating. So we know it's 0.136363636, and it just keeps going with the 36 like that. And then it's telling us to round to the hundredths place, which is the 3. So if we look over, 6 is greater than 5, so this number is going to be 0.14. So we divided it out, and then we rounded it, so we got the 0.14. Right, and then the last one is, what if we're doing it in a calculator, and the calculator has numbers, but it doesn't really have enough numbers for us to tell exactly whether it's repeating or not. So, for instance, we have 1 divided by 7, and that is 0.1428571, and then that's the end of our calculator screen. It can't fit any more numbers. So because this is a 1, it can maybe repeat because this one starts back at 1. So it could go 1428557, but we don't know because our calculator it's not going to go any further because that's the full screen of the calculator. So in that case, what we would need to do is multiply our numerator by 10. So if this was a fraction 1/7, or this becomes a fraction 1/7, we're going to multiply our numerator by 10. So 1 times 10 equals 10. And then we're going to divide that answer by the digit in front of the number in question, which would be a 7, because that number is going to be the one that confirms it's repeating. So we're going to divide it by 7. So 10 then divided by 7. And if we divided that out, would be 1.4285714. So then if we look, we already have 1 there. So we have 42857, which is the same as 42857. So we can safely say that 1 divided by 7 is 0.142857 repeating. And in order to figure that out again, so our calculator screen ended at the 1. We didn't know if it was repeating. So we created a fraction. We multiplied our numerator by 10 and got 10, divided by the denominator, which is 7, and that equaled 1.42855714, which is confirmed that this number is repeating, because that would be the confirmation, because this number is the same. So that's just if we have a calculator and it didn't go far enough. Now, if the calculator went out to 4, then you can confirm it's going to be the same. It's going to be repeating. But if it didn't go out that far, then you would have to do the same. It would not work if that number is not there. Then you would need a calculator that goes all the way out to at least the next number to confirm whether that's it or not. Say, for instance, so my calculator went from 0.14285. I couldn't do all of this to figure out if it's repeating or not because I needed the 7, because the 1 is actually when the new pattern starts over. So this only works when I have a next number that looks like it can cause it to repeat. All right, so just a quick review. The repetend was the digits that continue to repeat. So we have all those 2 repeat, the 6 repeats, the 405 repeats. So all of those repeat. And if all the numbers that repeat in the pattern have the repeating sign or line over them. So then if you saw this number, you would be able to write it out. We can round to whatever place value it tells us to, and we do it the same way we do with any type of rounding. And then if we divide, we would divide it out, and then we can put repeating, and then that's the formula for a calculator. And that was all for lesson 42.